Oh, good evening. I'm late, I know. I should have let you know.
It's all right, Mr. Honey, except I'm afraid that Elspeth's fallen asleep. What happened?
Oh, several things. I saw the psychiatrist this morning. They showed me a lot of ink blots. And these ink blots were supposed to make me think of tigers and elephants. All they made me think of was ink blots. We discussed that for quite some time.
And then?
And then 2 o'clock came.
2 o'clock?
My vibration tests. 1,440 hours were up at 2 o'clock. Nothing happened. Nothing at all. My figures clearly indicated that the tail assembly should fail at 2 o'clock, and it didn't.
And now what?
Well, the board of inquiry meets in the morning, and I'll stand up and I'll explain my theory, and then I'll sit down and listen to them say that I'm insane. Perhaps I am. I'm not sure, you know. I just think that the truth is only that I've made a mistake somewhere in my work, and I must have time to run it down. But you see, there won't be any time, and I'll just sit there. And I won't say a word.
I see. Everything just as it was,
Yes, I'm rather glad it's all over.
But you can't just sit there. If you believe something is right, you have to do it if you want to live with yourself. If you don't, you'll have to pay for it sooner or later, and so will Elspeth.
Elspeth?
Everything is to be just as it was for her, too?
Yes, she was very glad to have it that way. She was very happy.
Oh, it's as simple as that. Well, I'll be running along, Mr. Honey. It's my last day, you know. I start my job again tomorrow night. Funny if they put me back on reindeers.
No, but you mustn't.
Supposing I did, would you let me? Never mind. I'm sorry I mentioned it. Good night, Mr. Honey.
Elspeth, it's 7 o'clock, dear.
Good morning, Father. Yes, I've been awake for some time. Did the tail fall off?
No, dear, it didn't.
You mustn't worry about it. It will someday.
Elspeth, is something the matter?
No. I was just thinking about it's all being over. Teasdale's gone, and Miss Corder goes tonight, and the newspaper people, and everybody wanting to talk to me at school. That sort of thing isn't very permanent, is it? It's like Christmas. Everybody very nice to everybody for a little while, but then it doesn't last, does it?
Oh, I don't know, dear. Aren't they always nice to you at school?
It's just that they don't talk to me very much as a rule because I'm different. Like my intelligence quotient being too high. Father, I was thinking that maybe if I didn't go to school anymore, I'm sure to learn much more with you because there wouldn't be the other things to think about. Things being impermanent.
Oh, Elspeth, dear, no. Please, dear, don't cry. What's the matter, dear? What's the matter?
I have just one thing more to say to this Board of Inquiry.
Yes, Sir David.
I submit that the kindest thing we can say about Theodore Honey is that his mind is unstable, filled with obsessions that can carry him to great extremes. I insist an immediate finding to this effect be issued by this board.
Will that do anything else?
Now, wait a minute. Now, Mr. What's your name? Chairman. Mr. Chairman. I've decided to say something. Now, I didn't invent the mathematics that made me believe what I did. And I still believe that there's some truth in my work, test or no test. And when you believe in something, that's what you've got to do, isn't it? If you want to live with yourself. All right. Now, well, the first thing I'm going to do is to resign right here and now so the Farnsburg establishment won't get mixed up in this thing. And then, every time a reindeer aircraft is going to take off, and it shouldn't, I'm going out there and I'm going to wreck it. Now, you may put me in jail, but the newspapers wrote a whole lot about me when I wrecked that one in Gander, and they'll write more about me here, and people just won't get on those airplanes. And I'm going to tell you something else. The minute something does happen to one of those airplanes, you're going to have to think of something better to say than anything I've heard out here this afternoon. That's all. Any other statements? That's all. Goodbye. And then Sir David, he said I was crazy, and I got up and I made a few remarks, and then I just walked out and I came home.
Then it's all over?
It's all over. That's all. Thank you for stopping by, Miss Carter. It's very nice of you.
There's few more remarks. What did you tell them, Mr. Honey?
Oh, several things. I told them plenty. I resigned, too.
You didn't?
Resigned. Well, I couldn't just sit there, could I?
But what are you and Elspeth going to live on? Have you any money at all?
Money? Why, I don't know exactly how much. There's a bank book in the drawer there, I think.
You don't know how much money you have?
No, I suppose I should, shouldn't I? But
Less than £4. Just look at this bank book. You haven't made a deposit for months. Well, just what do you do with your money?
Well, I think there's some in the back shelf there. Here, yes, here, you see? Now, here, there's a box on the desk here. Sometimes I put the checks in that box. You see there?
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
Your salary checks, we'll just look at them. January, March, and this one from last November. Well, you have lots of money, Mr. Honey. I shouldn't have worried, should I? You don't need anyone.
Oh. Well, one of these days I'm going to take time out and go down to that bank.
Oh, but you do need someone.
Miss Carter, what seems to be... Now, you're not going to start to cry here now, are you?
I can't go away and leave you. It isn't safe. You've got to have somebody looking after you. I'm going to marry you and live here, whether you have a job or not.
You mean you're going to... Miss Carter, would you care to join me in a glass of sherry?
Thank you. Thank you very much.